Win over Serbia to open their Olympic campaign. Devin Booker had a dozen. Next up, a match with South Sudan on Wednesday. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Monday, look for mostly sunny skies. Another warm day out there, right around 109 degrees. And then for tonight, partly cloudy, with those overnight lows right around 87. For the Fox 10 Weather Experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by the City of Phoenix. In Phoenix, you rank third in the country for traffic fatalities, and 1 in 4 motor vehicle crash deaths involve people walking or biking. Come on, Phoenix, pay attention when you're behind the wheel. You're a big city. Act like one.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Everybody, we say good afternoon to you. Well, yesterday, Diamondbacks could not get rid of the Pirates as Pittsburgh walks off with a 6-5 win in extra innings. The Cardinals in training camp, and they begin to put on the pads. And the Olympics has just been absolutely sensational. Welcome in, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD3, also on the iHeartRadio app. We are here today at Casino, Arizona, always on a Monday, hanging out at the CAZ Sportsbook, located in the CAZ Sports Bar. Manuch, how are you? How was your weekend?
It was a great weekend as far as, checking out all the different scenarios as far as the Olympics was concerned. And I felt with so much going on, the plethora of sports, Olympics and baseball, trade deadlines. Looking at the Arizona Cardinals, who are actually going to pad it up this afternoon. Yep. It should be wrapped up about 3. Hopefully catch up with Craig Fouye at 2:30, and see how the thudding was going on out there in practice. So, training camps, quarterbacks getting signed for multi-million-dollar deals. I mean, it was, I would have to say, a very active weekend in the world of sports.
Manuch, you missed your calling. You are 40 years way too early. You should have been around now. Even if you were wearing the baseball cap and carrying the clipboard, you're probably making at least $3 to $5 million.
We were talking on Friday, and Jax brought this up, that Dan Marino, that 2L is going to make more in a year than Dan Marino did his entire career at the Miami Dolphins.
It's amazing.
You think about that. So, we'll get into this a little bit, but Jordan Love signing on average, $55 million a year. Oh, by the way, a $75 million bonus to top it up. If that doesn't make you happy, Jordan,
Ooh, man.
So you look at him, and he officially moves into the number 1 spot as far as per year contracts are concerned. But the NFL, as far as the marketing, the money coming and going, you know what? I think just about everybody's set except for that one guy in Dallas, that Dak Prescott. And that was interesting, driving all around town Saturday and yesterday, got their training quarterback. Says, what will the number be for Dak Prescott? Is it going to be 60? 60. Yeah. Is it going to be 70?
Oh, man.
And to hear Jerry Jones hem and haw and moonwalk and backpedal about when exactly he's going to sign him, I think he'll be just fine.
I think so. I'm with you on that 100%. All right, we got lots of things to get into. I will start with the Diamondbacks, but just before I do that, let me just say that the Phoenix Suns once again have hit another dinger out of the park. Tyus Jones, that they acquired for $3.3 million, a veteran minimum contract. Yes, it's only a 1-year deal, but he is, Manuch, once again, the consummate point guard.
Are there Kmart still open? Because that's a blue light special.
It is a blue light special.
And if you folks don't recognize what that is, for many, many years, Kmart would say, all right, now on aisle 19, blue light special sheets are now a half off. Yeah. Come on over. Or your Pro-Keds, regularly priced at $12.95, are now on sale for $5. Look for the blue light special. Sun's got a blue light special.
They did.
I mean, you think of Tyson Jones, you go, wow, legitimate starter, should start for this Phoenix Suns team. I don't have any reason to know why they wouldn't start him. But, I mean, I think a lot of that, though, Jimmy, is a guy that wants to come somewhere where he plays with these 3 phenomenal athletes, these 3 soon-to-be Hall of Famers, maybe 10 years down the road, whatever, and an opportunity for him to win it all. I mean, you think about him. He was with the Washington Wizards. Isn't that quasi-purgatory for a lot of basketball players?
Pretty much.
I won't call the Wizards hell, but guess what? You can see it from there.
There you go. Fair enough.
I mean, I looked at that and went, damn, James Jones, Matt Ishbia, or is this a Mike Budenholzer nudge for them to go, okay, guys, we got Morris. He's our guy as a backup. He's solid. But how about a true, legitimate point guard? Boom, presto, decides on the 1-year deal, league minimum. Talk about a steal of all steals. Just hopefully that helps his team move them along even higher into the playoffs.
I'm with you 100%. I was always a Tyus Jones fan, and I believe that he will do wonders. And the offense is going to look a lot different than what we saw last season as well. Look, we know that the 3 are going to score. But now I believe, Manuch, the pace on the court will be faster, and I also believe that the ball will move a lot faster in rotation as well.
And the one thing that, folks, if you get a chance to read up on Tyson Jones, is basically the one thing that sticks out, and I was reading a lot of reports, they continue to emphasize he takes care of the ball. He knows how to close the deal in the fourth quarter. Suns, highest turnover ratio in the entire NBA last year.
And particularly in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter, exactly. So those two, and I went, hallelujah. There's a guy that they talked about as far as him. And they gave several sequences in a fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go. Drove down the lane, dished it outside for a 3. Drove down the lane, had an open shot, took it. I mean, responsible with the basketball and being accountable with the basketball in some of the tight games that these Suns are going to have. And you read that and you just kind of go, wow. You know, now Suns fans can breathe in the fourth quarter knowing that somebody's going to handle the ball, take care of the ball, and on top of that, Jimmy, get the ball out of the big three's hands. Dish it out to them when they need them to go find their spot, get their shots off to win games or to close out games.
It's a sensational pickup once again by the Phoenix Suns. What was not sensational was what took place yesterday. Diamondbacks with an opportunity to win the game, and you get Diaz with a great start, and once again, it gets wasted with what happened late in the game. Paul Sewald, his blown 4th save. I'm telling you right now, it's frustration. I know they just went out, Manuch, and they picked up A.J. Puck. So from that aspect, I wonder right now, because of Sewald's difficulties here trying to close things out the past several weeks, if indeed Puck is in that position, if Ginkel moves into that spot, they do have options, but that was really tough to take yesterday.
Yeah, Sewald seems to be leaking a little bit of oil. I don't know if forward scouting is starting to catch up with him, and the Diamondbacks need to readjust on the way he pitches. I mean, you think about that. He gave up the 2 hits and the 1 run, the one earned run, and then Martinez comes in and a couple wild pitches later, they tie the score, they beat Pittsburgh and take the lead. I mean, you know, you think of him coming in just imploding, which is going to happen periodically. But I think the point you make there, because Puck had a good a relief on Saturday.
He did.
Good relief, last night. Had 3 strikeouts. Had all 3 pretty much struck out the side and pitching him. But you might be right, Jimmy. He might be that backup closer if they need to. And I think if Sewald continues down this path as far as really struggling in order to get the save, now, he's 8-4 in saves.
Mm-hmm.
So he's leaking a little bit of oil. I think they're going to monitor it and watch that. But I think at this point in time, they're not going to adjust that in reference to what
you don't think they're going to make a move, like if they have to go and use a closer in tonight's game?
Well,
do they open up a series with Washington?
I think they're going to monitor that.
Okay.
Like I said, I mean,
what the hell is monitoring?
Well, if he gets a lead,
I'm monitoring it right now, and he wasn't good.
Well, he's blown 3 out of the last 4 saves.
Yes,
I think they're going to give him benefit of the doubt how well he pitched last year going into the wild card. But I think that there's some options for them. I think that's another area in reference to looking at how they're going to have it. And I think that those are some of the things that Mike Hazen, with the trade deadline tomorrow, I believe it's going to be at 1 o'clock, either 1 or 2 o'clock our time, we'll take a good hard look at if there's anybody else there. But I think with Puck, how well he pitched over the weekend. Coming in, suitcase still unpacked, comes in, does a good job. But again, is there a cause for concern for Seawald in the way he's had these last several saves?
That brings us then to our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. And for a free quote, repair, or installation, just head to state48roofing.com. You can always follow them on social media by searching #SexyRoofStatus. Here's the question. With tomorrow as the MLB trade deadline, what type of player should the D-backs go and acquire? You have four options. 1, another starting pitcher. 2, another reliever. 3, another bat. 4, make no more trades. That's what I envision right now. Manuch, where did you go on that?
This was, and just to give you an idea,
okay,
33.3% would like to see another reliever. I was hedging back and forth between that and another bat. The only reason why I might say another bat is just because maybe a little more pop in the lineup. Now, nice to see Suarez starting to come around and see these guys. But I think another reliever, a lot of fans out there at 33.3% figure you can never have enough relief, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe they're probably putting that on the woes, as we talked about with Paul Seawald, that he's leaking oil. And this question's on the heels of that disaster yesterday, a couple wild pitches by Martinez.
Exactly.
So if you can find somebody that improves the relief room, as I say, that could benefit, that's better than what they have now, I might lean that way. But initially, I just said another bat, maybe another more power. And I think maybe another, could be another DH. But here's the other thing, too. I think if Corbin Carroll continues to struggle, now hitting, 211, even though I had a big night Saturday night, there might be some other scenarios that surround that. We'll take 4 hours to make those kind of decisions. They get paid big bucks for it. Jim.
I put no more trades, to be honest with you, because you got guys throwing what they like to call side games, and you're still hoping to have those two guys come back in Merrill Kelly, and I don't know
and
what
E-Rod.
I don't even know what E-Rod's going to give it. I have no clue what to expect out of him.
I would say this: they've got to have a really firm grasp, to your point, Jimmy, of Kelly coming back and being able to come back, and how long it'll take him to get back up to speed. And then with E-Rod, if there's another big question mark that, we're just not comfortable where he's at right now, that's going to be a couple big decisions that Mike Hazen's got to make. Now, if there's a starter out there that they feel, hey, look, he can improve what we have, or are we content that the guys we have can't pick up the slack and be better or be the same, then they might not make any moves. But I think that Mike Hazen and his medical staff and the physical therapists on that team are having some deep conversations. I think probably more so than E-Rod, than with Merrill Kelly. If they say, hey, look, E-Rod's probably going to be a no-go, but we're okay with Kelly, then I think they can make some decisions which way they lean.
Jordan Montgomery on the mound tonight for the Snakes in the game against Washington. That is our top headlines. They are always presented by the CAZ Sportsbook here at Casino Arizona. They have 5 self-serve betting kiosks and 8 screens displaying all of the betting lines, and they are open daily from 8 in the morning until 11 at night. You want to come and have a great time? You can wager on the games, and you can also watch the games. Lots of TVs, big TVs to watch the games here at the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino Arizona. When we come back, Sounds of the Weekend presented by Document Solutions. Thanks for having us today. We all started at 1 o'clock, and we roll until 4. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
If you haven't tried G2G protein bars, today is the day. Find them in your local Costco's refrigerated section or online at g2gbar.com. Incredible taste and packed with protein. They are perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Check them out today.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% blue rubber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Hey, it's Jax, co-host of Take the Points, the only local sports gambling radio show in Arizona. Tune in every Saturday from 11 to 1, live right here from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Let's cash some tickets.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail. And the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by two words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Vans Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
The Paris Olympics are here. Tonight in men's gymnastics, Brody Malone leads Team USA against the world's best. Plus, a strong U.S. swim team continues its pursuit of gold. Prime time in Paris, tonight 8/7 Central on NBC and Peacock.
Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Can't believe tax season is here already. But look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Time for today's play of the day, courtesy of Document Solutions, leading the valley of business solutions for copier and IT service. Their service can't be copied. 623-252-8282. Now let's get to the play of the day.
LeBron, 21 points for you, 23 for KD. You gave KD a big hug. What do you enjoy about being teammates?
I think we just bring out the best in one another. We're very seasoned to the FIBA games. We've played a lot of international basketball when it comes to the Olympics or World Championships. So, to have KD on our side, to have KD on my side, it's a treat for sure.
What did you notice about his preparation and practice to hit the court in rhythm?
Everything that he does in practice is game speed. So when it translates out here, it's no surprise.
A resounding win over Serbia, but I know you're a perfectionist. I know you see the little things as you guys continue to bring to build your chemistry. Is there anything you'd like to fine tune?
Yeah, we all get better with our turnovers. I mean, obviously, we're trying to make the right play, so you can never exclude that. But there's some of the careless turnovers that we had that we could give ourselves even more possessions offensively. We'd be better coming up on Wednesday.
That is LeBron James after yesterday's win over Serbia. Thank you to NBC Olympics for that sound clip. Look, I was so impressed with Kevin Durant and all of the conversation about it when he wasn't in any of the practice games leading up to the Olympics. Manuch, he comes out, he misses only one shot, and I'm going to describe that play right at the end of the first half, where he hit that off-balance fall away that was sensational. It's just a simple curl pick play, and you have KD on the left-hand side of the lane, and you saw Steph Curry down low on the block. Everybody thinks that he's going to be the guy that pops out for the shot. No, Curry comes up, sets the screen. KD comes around it, gets the pass, drills the shot, and the United States was off and running.
The thing that's, I think a lot of folks go, well, didn't he have a calf injury as a few days ago? Yeah. Folks, sometimes even in the Olympics, they play a little possum.
Uh-huh.
That guy put him out there unless he's 110%, right? So he's probably been over 100% for over a week, practicing, getting his shots. Well, he's been in some non-contact drills in the basketball practices. They never have contact in basketball practices, but he's been practicing.
He has.
Suffice to say that they let a lot of people on. He looked like midseason form. I will say this, Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Defensively, all around the plate, he was Mr. Steady Eddie. I mean, the guy on the court that was, I felt, the common denominator.
He was.
And then the way these guys they shoot the basketball, but it's like KD had missed a beat. It's like he's been shooting the whole time. Like, you know what, guys, I need a little break. Just tell him I've got a calf injury. Not feeling good, whatever. But he was 110% and had been practicing that way for probably about a week.
You know what amazes me about the men's team is just the look in all of the players' eyes. Manuch, these guys are millionaires. LeBron's a billionaire. They are so dialed in to win this medal, this gold medal at the Olympics. It's unbelievable just the way that they have gone about this.
And to not play Jason Tatum,
Yes.
just speaks volumes what you said there, that they've got a lot of talent on there. And Steve Kerr, like, we'll make sure we play him.
Wednesday.
You know what? Hey, if I'm a head coach, look, everybody's checked their egos at the door.
Yeah.
If I need you, I will put you in the game. If I don't, so be it.
Yeah.
For some reason, we just couldn't play you. So I don't think there's any need for Steve Kerr as the head coach to apologize or even say, hey, look, we will get him in the game. Oh, okay. Jason Tatum knows you got alpha dogs on that court. And they're gonna go with him.
Yeah.
And I thought they were very steady, very methodical in the way they played. And to your point, I think bound and determined to get that gold medal.
They really are. All right. Sounds of the weekend. It's presented by our great partners at Document Solutions. And let's start first with the game yesterday. And it is Major League Baseball, the Diamondbacks and the Pirates. And let's start here, bottom of the fourth inning, Jake McCarthy.
McCarthy down the line. That stays fair. Here comes Peterson. Jake McCarthy, 5 for 5 last night, looking for 3. And he's got the RBI triple.
And he's playing. He knows he's going for 3 right here. Watch what he does with his hand. He knocks his helmet off. It gets over his eyes, so he can get into third base.
We saw that hair flying on the triple he had in the 9th inning earlier.
Manuch, when you were playing baseball, did you ever flip your helmet off so people could look at your hair?
No, never. We used to say that was showboating. Yeah, showboat. But you know what? If he feels that it was coming off, he just popped it off.
Yeah.
For the sake. But I mean, Jake McCarthy is, as you hear in reference to the broadcast yesterday, 5 for 5, gets up, base hit, triple, 6 for 6. Speed, folks. That's why that young man can cover a lot of ground out there in left field.
He is really, really, really fast. All right, so the wheels start to come off the wagon as we get late in the game into the 9th and then the 10th inning because it went extra innings. Let's start first, though, because Manuch's favorite player to bust on, Suarez at third base. Manuch, in your estimation, is he starting to come out of it a little bit?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's not the guy that's going to hit for average, obviously, but I think his glove and his power, I think to right center, left center, and then hit an occasional home run out is starting to come to fruition. And I think for timing wise,
okay.
Not that the trade deadline has anything to do with it. I don't think they were going to do anything with him in reference to that. But I think it motivates a lot of players that, hey, look, I got to start picking up my end of the bargain. I got to start getting in gear. And remember now, guys, about a month and a half ago, Troy Lovello kind of sort of called him out on his preparation, getting ready for games. So I think that shot across the bow was heard by Suarez to say, I got to get my act together, watching more tape, getting my workouts in, and starting to bring my bat alive. And he really has started bringing his bat alive.
Bottom of the 10th inning, it is 6-4 Pittsburgh, and here we go with Suarez.
Gurriel, Moreno, Richard. Suarez lifts it pretty deep left field. Palacios chasing it to the wall, and he's got it up against the wall. He lost it. Now he's claiming fan interference. They are signaling home run. Suarez trots around the bases after reviewing the call on the field stance. Home run. They're right back in it. Suarez with a home run.
Oh, there you go. Thank you to Major League Baseball Network for that highlight.
And when you watch the replay, the young man, by the way, catch the damn ball.
How did I know you were going to bust on the fan?
But he was behind the line. He was up in the stands. And he had every right. He didn't reach out over the line. He had it right there, and ball hit him in his glove and popped right. I mean, you're not to say, hey, kid, secure the ball, look it in, tuck it away. But again, I agree with the call, and that's what you're going to need from this guy. You're going to need that occasional pop. I think a more consistent pop. And again, I mean, with as well as he's been playing, he's still only hitting Jimmy 218. But, the 3 RBI that he had yesterday is going to help this team moving forward.
All right, Loris Gurriel then trying to rally the troops as well. Here it is.
In on 3-2. Gurriel launches one down the line. And it's gone. 2 home runs in the 10th, and it's a 1-run game.
Pittsburgh, however, hangs on, and they win the game 6-5. Now, look, I play golf a lot, Manuch. I've covered major golf tournaments for a long time. I watch a lot of golf on TV, but I have never, ever seen the next two things that we are about to play. Now, this is going to take place off a shot by Davis Riley. And, well, I'll just let the announcers do this because this is pretty entertaining. Here it is.
Look at this. This is a wedgie. The ball is stuck in between the chair. Davis Riley. Wow.
I've seen ball.
You don't see this often. You see it in basketball all the time. My favorite thing in basketball, but not in golf. A wedgie on the chair.
You see it. You see it. You know, I've seen it get in the cup holder of chairs. I've seen it get in the seat of the chair, but never lodged between the legs. Never.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah, that's not one you see too often. Look at where that was.
Great look from our crew. A wedgie in golf. Never thought I'd see the day.
I've never seen that.
And
either.
folks, he did get a free drop.
Yes,
he get a free drop. But you're right. That was like pinned up against that. It's interesting because you sit there. This is it's a man-made stature. The ruling is it not like a tree. If it's stuck up in a tree, either you go up and hit it, or you're gonna have to take a penalty stroke and drop it. But that was your wedgie. I mean, okay. 1 minute. Think of Animal House. I hear wedgie.
I know. All right. So here's the last one right here. Look, they always have cops at the tournaments just for crowd control and just to make sure nothing goofy takes place. However, Jonathan Vegas, who by the way won this tournament, hit a shot, and well, here I'll let the guys explain it.
Look at this at 12.
In his arm.
The ball's right here in his arm.
What are the chances? Jonathan Vegas' tee shot.
I've seen some tough guys before.
Sorry, my friend. Oh, you?
It bounced into the police officer's arm, and he's got it kind of caught between his body and his arm.
That's a very secured
golf ball. Why did I set you up for that? I set you up for that. Anyway, sounds of the weekend and night, always presented by Document Solutions. It's time for an all-in-one wireless printer with great connectivity options. Just call Document Solutions of the Valley, 623-252-8282, and get yourself or business a new all-in-one printer, and you can do it right now. You can buy, lease, or even rent many makes and models that work off of your smartphone. Just call them, 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied. As for our friend there, that is Greg Haas. All right. Want to remind you also about Twin Peaks. Manuch, where are we going to be Thursday?
We'll be at the Camelback Twin Peaks right there at the southeast corner of 20th Street and Highland.
All right. So from Twin Peaks and Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, you have a chance right now to win a new big screen smart TV for the upcoming football season. And you get to select what size you want, all the way up to an 85-inch big screen TV. So just text Peaks to 59925. That's 59925. Standard message, data rates apply. Enter now, a chance to win a big screen TV all the way up to 85 inches. Just text Peaks to 59925. Thank you to Twin Peaks and, of course, the good guys, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910. When we come back, D-backs have won 6 of 9, struggled yesterday, and they have a new reliever as well in A.J. Puck. We're going to have Nick Picoro on, who covers the team every day as we continue here at Casino, Arizona. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, Kalia Copper, and the rest of Team USA have begun their quest for Olympic gold as they battle Japan today. Kevin Durant led the way with 23 points in Team USA's win over Serbia to open up their Olympic campaign. Devin Booker chipped in with 12. Next up, South Sudan on Wednesday. The D-backs put Jordan Montgomery on the bump for their series opener with the Nationals. JM Mike Hazen could look to add another pitcher ahead of tomorrow's trade deadline. And the Cardinals continue to host open practices at training camp today and tomorrow. The preseason opener August 10th against the Saints. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction, like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at WrightToyota.com.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Attention drivers, stay alert Arizona. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, supports the move over law. If you see emergency lights, move over and slow down. Let's keep our roads safe for everyone. Sponsored by All City Towing.
Spend an unforgettable night with Bret Michaels, September 21st only at Talking Stick Resort. It's the Rock in the Desert Party Gras. Enjoy special drink offers, thrilling contests with incredible prizes, and exciting casino giveaways throughout the night. It's time to rock out with Bret Michaels, Saturday, September 21st. Tickets are on sale now. Visit TalkingStickResort.com.
It's the Marketers Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties so that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. American women went 1-2 on the piste and in the pool in Paris. In the women's individual foil competition, Lee Kiefer defended her gold medal from Tokyo, defeating teammate Lauren Scruggs, who nabbed silver, becoming the first black woman to win an individual medal in fencing for the U.S. And American women went 1-2 in the 100-meter butterfly, Tori Husk taking gold, Gretchen Walsh the silver. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
With the Venture X business card from Capital One, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/VentureXBusiness.
Yeah, bring it to. Gurriel launches one down the line, and it's gone. 2 home runs, 10th, and it's a 1-run game.
Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM, HD3, also on the iHeart Radio app. Thank you to the MLB Network for the highlight of Gurriel's home run last night. Wasn't enough. 6-5 loss, the Cardinals losing to the Pirates. And that means that... The Diamondbacks, pardon me. Thank you. And that means that the... Washington is in town, the Nationals, beginning a series with the D-backs tonight. Paul Coro is joining us. Nick Picoro is joining us right now, beat writer, Arizona Republic, and azcentralsports.com. You can always follow him on X at Nick Picoro. Nick, welcome to the show, pal, as always. So in your estimation, are they about ready now to change closers, or will they do it by a committee? And is Sewald going to be left out of that rotation?
I don't know.
Yesterday, it sounded like Torey Lovullo was going to stick with him, but I don't know. It's been a rough 3-4 week stretch here for Paul Sewald. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if they made a change, even if it was one of those, let's back him out of the role for a couple of days or a couple of outings in a lower leverage spot and then go back to him. I think they would much prefer to have him in the ninth inning. I know he means a lot to that team. In the clubhouse, I think they valued everything that he brought from a stabilizing perspective last season. And I think everything just kind of aligns really well when he is pitching the ninth inning and pitching it well. But he's been struggling lately. So, you can't keep giving away games. You argue though that, they're playing well enough lately that, you can't really give away, there's never a good time to have a closer struggling. Don't get me wrong. But, they've been able to have, a really good month of July despite it. He's been great. They've been great. He hasn't been. So they've been able to get through it. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Like I said, I know how much he means to that team and that clubhouse, but I wouldn't be surprised if they stuck with him a little bit longer.
Nick, it's interesting you bring that up. Listening to Torey Lovullo talk about it, a little trepidation there as far as a ringing endorsement one way or the other. But they've won 6 out of 9 since the All-Star break, and they've won 3 series in a row. Do you think Torey's going to lean on the side of that Sewald's got a little more credit or cachet because they won 3 series in a row to see how he ends up? Maybe he works himself out of this slump.
I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, it's hard to keep giving away games. Those can be demoralizing. Luckily, though, they have been winning a lot lately, and they haven't hurt in the same way. These guys have been bouncing back from these losses, and they've been losing games and like, well, it's okay. We still took the series. They haven't just been these crippling defeats. When it first started, when his struggles first began, there was that night at Dodger Stadium, and that was a tough loss. And it felt like it was a bad omen because of how badly they needed to win at the time to kind of solidify themselves as buyers and as contenders. They've done that. They've already bought. They are contenders. It's hard to really look at this team and not see them getting into the playoffs at this point. But like I said, you can't keep giving away games in the ninth inning.
Nick Picaro is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day, Nick. I want to throw it at you. With tomorrow being the MLB trade deadline, what type of player should the D-backs go and acquire? 4 options. 1, another starting pitcher. 2, another reliever. 3, another bat. 4, make no more trades. What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think they're trying to do. It's number 2, and that's another reliever. I think that was the second option, at least.
Yes, it was.
It sounded to me like Hazen and company were pretty locked in on trying to add one more arm that could give them some coverage in the middle late innings. That kind of tells me that there's some willingness to move on from Miguel Castro. Who's getting paid a lot of money, but really hasn't been able to put it together yet. I don't really feel like it's much of a reaction to Sewald, but look, if you do end up having to bump Sewald out of the ninth inning and, who knows what's going to happen to him after that? Like, from a confidence mentality perspective, is he really going to bring much after that? I don't know. I would like to think he still would, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Another reliever would be nice to have to kind of backfill there and give you another option in the late innings.
And Nick, on that point, 33.3%, which is in the lead, do agree with you, followed by another starting pitcher, 27.8%, which leads to my next question for you, Nick, is you think a lot of Hazen's decisions tomorrow, or even today, depend on the report, not so much on Merrill Kelly, but on the report of how Erod is progressing or not progressing. Will that determine for maybe another starter per se?
Yeah, it certainly has been part of it for a while now. Everything that he's been saying that they've been hearing on all of those pitchers, or both of those pitchers, is that they're progressing well. Prior to that, it was Jordan Montgomery and how he was progressing too, and he's already back now. I think that if they were throwing their bullpens or throwing their sides and needing extra time or feeling, more soreness than you'd expect, then he would be a lot more apt to be sniffing around on that rental starting pitching market. But look, I mean, it seems like those guys are all trending in the right direction. I don't know that there's too many guys that are going to be moved in the next 24 hours that are as good as those guys, frankly. I'm not sure how many guys have been moved thus far that are as good as those guys from a starting pitching perspective. So I think he's just kind of, trying to read and react to what's going on right now. And it seems like the thing to do is just to kind of bet on the health of those guys. I think you feel pretty good after watching what Yilber Diaz did in 4 starts, after seeing the way Ryan Nelson has pitched in the last month and a half. Worst comes to worst, those guys are making additional starts. Like, hey man, they went on their hottest stretch of the season with those 2 in the rotation.
I'm with you on that 100%, Nick. I went with no more trades just because I'm in agreement with what you just stated about what else is out there and would anybody else really help the team. So let me follow up then with this question. I know that we're just coming into August. Still got to play all August. Still got to play all of September. But is scoreboard watching now a thing in that dugout, or at least by the front office?
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure they're paying attention to how everybody's doing. I heard some grumbling about the Orioles not being able to beat the Padres a little bit more than they did over the weekend. I'm sure everybody's paying attention to what the Mets and the Braves, even at this point, are doing as well. There was a point last week when I wondered if we needed to start paying attention to the Dodgers a little more closely. Maybe it was right before before the All-Star break, but I kind of seem to have kicked it in gear here recently. So I mean, I think the most likely outcome is they're going to end up in a wild card spot once again. The way they're playing, the way their roster looks, the way Suarez has come around offensively in the last month. It just doesn't really feel like there's any, barring more injuries or something like that, I have a hard time not seeing these guys getting into the playoffs.
And I think, Nick, the point you made about, hey, tough to give those away, especially against a team like the Pirates, who are just 2 games back the wild card. If it comes down to the last day or last week, they'll look at the head-to-head. But so far as head-to-head's concerned, with the Giants and the Padres in front of you pretty much, you're not going to see the Mets much, if at all, the Cardinals or the Pirates again. That's vitally important if it comes down to that last day of the head-to-heads. And that's why I'm sure Torrey was a little perturbed after last night's loss.
Yeah, they have a tough schedule coming up the rest of the way, too. When I was looking a week or so ago, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd toughest of all the contending teams in the National League the rest of the way. So yeah, look, every game could count.
3.
We saw it last year. Every game did count. And, if anything else happens around the league, if Seiya Suzuki catches that fly ball, I think it was in Atlanta, the Cubs were playing, last September, maybe the Diamondbacks still make the postseason. So look, they've got to win as many games as they can. It's as simple as that.
Does Corbin Carroll finally get off the schneid, or is this what we're going to see the rest of the season?
I don't know. I know he's working hard. I know he always is working hard. And I know he cares a lot. And it just feels like he's really close. It's felt that way for most of the last few months to me, where he's taking, maybe a really good swing or two a night, and just can't really seem to find that consistency that he had last year, where it just felt like he was such a tough out every single time he stepped to the plate. But I'll tell you what, man, if they can get him going, they're a really dangerous team. They're a dangerous team right now.
2.
If those starting pitchers come back healthy, The way Brandon Fott has pitched, Cattell Marte is an MVP candidate. Christian Walker is a monster in the middle of the lineup. It's a tough team. It's a good bullpen, I still think. I just feel like if Corbin gets going the way he was last year, it just obviously adds a different level, different amount of depth to that lineup, and just makes them a more dynamic offense as well. They would be right where they were, in terms of being a scary team to face in the playoffs like they were last year.
Hey, last one real quick for you. Jordan Montgomery, after his last start, I thought it was very solid. Did he say anything in particular with the time off or his healing time might have helped mechanically wise that he's trying to recapture from the struggles he's had this year?
1 minute.
I am afraid I don't know the answer to that one. I was not in Kansas City when he made his start. I know he's been working on various things here and there, and sometimes to his detriment. I think he was, trying to make little mechanical changes to get a mile per hour or two back on his fastball that he had lost from last year. And I think that's kind of what got him in all these struggles in the first place. So I don't know. I'm not very concerned about him. I look at what Blake Snell's been able to do with the Giants here the last 3-4 starts and has turned himself into a trade candidate and a guy who could opt out of his contract. And I don't think it's going to take much for Jordan Montgomery to do the same thing. I know a lot of people have talked about how, this contract doesn't look good and the Diamondbacks are going to get stuck with him for next year. I think there's a pretty decent chance he's going to pitch well enough that he's going to be able to opt out as well and go get a big payday, the kind of payday he was hoping to get last offseason. It doesn't take much. If you pitch well for 6 weeks down the stretch, you might even only have to pitch well for 5 starts down the stretch to get clubs to be eager to add. I mean, as hard as it is to find starting pitching. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be an interesting storyline to watch.
Always good, pal, when you take time to come on with us. We always appreciate you. Enjoy tonight's game, okay?
All right, sounds good.
There you go. Nick Picoro, everybody, as our guest. He is presented by the largest towing company in the state. That is All City Towing. And they're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Look, you get benefits that are absolutely sensational. You can set work schedules. You get a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Yes, that is all available to you at All City Towing. So take your career to the next level. Just go online and go to allcitytowing.com and search careers. That's allcitytowing.com and search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. When we come back, a little football at 50. We're hanging out today at Casino, Arizona. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
When you're clear to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. The 20th and 21st. T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas. Streaming live only on Hulu.
Starting next Monday, looking for your chance to be there.
Sponsored by Redbird Farms Chicken. Turn up the flavor with Redbird Farms Chicken. Available at your local grocer. Our chicken is juicy, tender, and delicious. Just like the iHeartRadio Music Festival, our chicken hits all the right notes and brings people together. Redbird Farms Chicken. What real chicken tastes like.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner & Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is upon us. Be proactive today. Go to state48roofing.com. Scan the QR code below. We want to take care of you. Be proactive. Get your maintenance done. We are home of the hashtag sexy Lou status.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Get out of the heat and play at Duke's. Duke's on Miller and McDowell. A huge new game room is open with foosball, pool tables, shuffleboard, darts, and Pop-A-Shot basketball.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
With 3 10-foot TV screens and dozens more big screens, you'll find every game you're looking for.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Voted Best Sports Bar by New Times.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where Dukes? Miller and McDowell. Shots fired.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Let's get ready for football.
It's football at 50. The latest top football story trending this hour. Right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 on the iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back, everybody. We're hanging out Casino, Arizona is where you can find us today. We're at the CAZ Sportsbook, located at the CAZ Sports Bar. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Jax is here with us, and Shu back in the iHeartRadio studios. It is time for a little football at 50. Manuch, I know this is your favorite time of the year, and the best part is, at least today, the Arizona Cardinals practicing, and they have put on the pads.
Yeah, they have. They should be wrapping up about 2:40 this afternoon, putting on the pads. I think probably a little more thudding than actual contact.
Okay.
That they'll be doing. But this is one of those times they've had several days of practice. I believe they had Saturday off.
Right.
Practice yesterday. Kind of getting into the swing of things, if you will. So I'll be very curious. Hopefully we can catch up with Craig Fouie here at the bottom of the hour in reference at 2:30 to see what he saw or didn't see. But I think those are some of the things that I think that Jonathan Gannon wants to work this team forward. I think there's got to be a lot more physicality, however they incorporate that in practice, focus on the running game.
Okay.
And I think timing and chemistry is also going to be very key as far as the passing game is concerned.
All right, let's get to some of the other teams and some other news and notes. What do you got?
Yeah, a big blow here for the Patriot fans. Christian Barmore has been ruled out indefinitely due to blood clots. Pretty much, he was indefinitely ruled out the other day, and he got blood clots over the weekend. The team had announced Barmore was treated at Massachusetts General Brigham Hospital. No timetable for his return. He's just 25 years old. As you remember, folks, just signed a 4-year contract extension with a maximum value of $92 million with the team in April. You got to be very careful with these blood clots, Jimmy, because you think of some of the athletes or people over the years
right.
that have had blood clots to make sure they're dissolved, that they monitor that, because if it escapes or travels up to the heart, that's a very serious situation for anybody that has blood clots.
Dallas Cowboys also dealt a blow because defensive end Sam Williams tears his ACL.
Yeah, he injured it engaged in a blocking drill, the special teams portion of practice of all areas. 25-year-old is entering his third NFL season after being selected in the second round, folks, of the 2022 NFL Draft. He totaled 48 tackles and 8.5 sacks through 32 career games played. That is a huge blow. I mean, he's an outstanding defensive end, just a young guy, starting to come into his own. And, you don't know if he made a cut, if he moved here or he moved there, where exactly it happened. But it seems as though his season is over for Dallas Cowboy fans. Be on the lookout. I'm sure they'll scrub the waiver wire or maybe look at a potential trade to try to grab somebody that resembles him at that defensive end.
And there are two quarterbacks who just got seriously paid. They got the bag. Jordan Love in Green Bay, Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. Your reaction to that?
Well, we beat that up on Tua getting his paid, the money, $52 per year. And I think
more than Marino ever made?
That was it. Jackson, you brought that up the other day. I'm like, wow. Dan Marino, the millions he made.
Yeah.
Tua was going to make more in 1 year than he made his entire career. And then when you guys were on the air on Take the Point Saturday, Jax, Jordan Love got the bag.
Yeah, well, Jordan Love was later on Friday. His was about a couple hours just after Tua. But for Tua's just contract breakdown, 4 years, $212.4 million extension, 167 of that being fully guaranteed. And then for Jordan Love, he also got a 4-year deal, $220 million, $155 million guaranteed. But also additionally, because obviously that's not enough, $75 million signing bonus for Mr. Jordan Love.
Oh, on top of that,
not enough.
Just in case it doesn't satisfy you.
Two nuggets for you.
Okay.
One, the 2020 NFL draft class, which included Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and Jalen Hurts combined. $1.25 billion between those five quarterbacks. And then when you look at who are the highest paid quarterbacks, Jordan Love at $55 million, tied with Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow, followed by Tua Tagovailoa, 53.1, Jared Goff, 53, Justin Herbert, 52.5.
That's absolutely incredible.
$75 million signing bonus.
I know.
Jimmy,
Well,
because the
that's kind of like what we gave to you.
Oh, yeah. I wish.
Hey, football at 50, it was poured by El Bandito Yankee Tequila. Break out the Bandito. It's pure outlaw spirit. It's created by a couple of Banditos, former pro athletes Jim Bob Morris and Chris Chelios. El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B show. Experience it yourself and ask for it at your favorite refreshment stand.
20.
Break out the Bandito. All right, hour number 2. We've got top stories for you. Also, ABC Sports Director
10.
Bowie is going to join us. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com.
I didn't watch any of it, but I was paying attention to what happened.
When you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck, Learn and Row will take you from wreck to check, from crash to cash, from accident to whatever rhymes with accident. And we'll help you.
I have zero problem with anything that occurred today at practice.
Even if you don't have health insurance, we'll help you get your car fixed. We'll help you get your doctor bills paid. And then we'll fight with the insurance companies to get you every dollar you deserve. Hurt in a wreck? Call Learn and Row. We're with you every step of the way.
Learn and Row is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from one Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Biggest mistake people make is waiting too long before they call Rappy. Let's go to work immediately.
I'm calling Rappy. 623-388-4333. Call Rappy.
Broadcasting from the Rappy Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
The Gronder scored 11 points and pulled down 9 rebounds for Team USA in their 102-76 Olympic opening win versus Japan. Kalia Copper scored 4 while Diana Taurasi had 2 points. Kevin Durant scored 23 in the U.S.'s win over Serbia to open their Olympic campaign. Devin Booker chipped in with 12. Next up, South Sudan on Wednesday. D-backs against look to add another pitcher ahead of tomorrow's trade deadline. And the Cardinals continue to host open practices.
Don't cue me for anything. It's just music. So just start talking about the
on
Olympics.
Fox Sports 910, available on the free iHeartRadio app.
Plumbing and electric. Parker.
Monday, look for mostly sunny skies. Another warm day out there, right around 109 degrees. And then for tonight, partly cloudy, with those overnight lows right around 87. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America N.A. Copyright 2024.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Time for calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Sports 910.
Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD3, also on the iHeartRadio app. And it's headlines time. It's always presented by our great partners here at the CAZ Sportsbook. You can bet the game. You can watch the game. 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service kiosks, and they are open from 8 in the morning until 11 at night, 7 days a week. It's all available right here at the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona. All right, little baseball tonight. A new team in town, Manuch. It is Washington and the D-backs this evening.
Well, the D-backs got Montgomery on the bump, and I think that, again, here comes his second outing after coming back. They want to see the improvement. And as Torey Lovello says, there's not much room for error in reference to, pardon the pun, for this baseball game. A struggling a struggling Nationals organization. So I think those are some of the things that when you see a game like yesterday get away, very unfortunate because that wild card spot means everything. 7 teams now, Jimmy, 7 teams in play for all 3 wild card spots. So hopefully Montgomery is, can find that rhythm, that groove he had last year and not have the ups and downs. And hopefully on top of that, he can stay healthy the next, we're talking almost 8-9 weeks of the regular season.
I hope that is the case because they need guys to get on the bump, and Montgomery is a key for them, and they get Merrill Kelly back as well, so that will increase their chances of being a wild card team.
And as we mentioned earlier, we're talking about the wild card, but also the trade deadline tomorrow. It seems as though right now, I just got the feeling, Jimmy, that Erod's probably not going to be back. He'd probably be a bonus. You talked about Merrill Kelly looking to come back hopefully here in the next week to 2 weeks. I think that's something that is for sure thing. But when you read all the scenarios surrounding Erod, this thing was probably more serious than they thought. And is it another reliever? Is it another starter? Probably not going to be another bat. But I think if they can improve that bullpen, but who's ever out there, who they can give up, I think that's going to be the stronger case for them looking at.
The Phoenix Suns with another acquisition. They get a 1-year deal, veteran minimum, a little over $3 million for point guard Tyus Jones. That, to me, Manuch, is an excellent signing. And to be quite honest with you, I am surprised that they got Jones for the veteran minimum.
Well, and I think that's kind of a two-way street. It's a great pickup.
It is.
Starting point guard, takes care of the ball. Had the best, turnover ratio in all of the NBA as a point guard as far as taking care of the ball, helping games to close out. He's going to be coming out of the Washington Wizards purgatory, if you will, escaping out of there.
Yep.
But, I mean, when a guy looks at, league minimum for a chance to come in for a year, prove himself that he can get the job done. And also, I think, Jim, is to also prove that he can be a big part of this team making the next step as far as the Western Conference. Then next year, maybe they can work something out if he wants to stay. But this is a great move. It's like, why? You kind of go, Tyus Jones is still available. And you kind of looked out there and you looked at Morris coming to this team. But I think a great move, great pickup, and a great scenario for all you Suns fans, which I am.
Yes, you are.
For the major trepidation we had in the fourth quarter, at the end of the fourth quarter, go, how the hell did that happen? It was game after game after game with that talent. And then just really the turnovers and sucking gas in the fourth quarter. So I think Tyus Jones is the guy that can put all that, I hope, all that to rest as a starter for the Phoenix Suns.
All right, let's talk a little Olympics right now. And with that, we start with the USA women winning over Japan 102-76 today. So the USA ladies with a first-round victory as well. Again, 102-76 over Japan. They look indeed like the team that will cash in a gold medal without much of a problem. The United States team is just going absolutely crazy on the medal count. Beginning today, they had 12. They are going to pick up a few more tonight in the pool and also in fencing as well.
Let me give you the current medal count right now, Jimmy. As of about 5 minutes ago, they've got a total of 20 medals so far, followed by France and Japan. Now, the gold medal stand is USA at 3, France 5, Japan 6, and China 5. Silver medals, USA 8, followed by France at 8, Japan 2, and China 5. And then the bronze, the USA dominating there. They've got 9 bronze medals. France has got 3, Japan 4, and China 2. So currently, again, the situation, USA 20 medals total, France 16, Japan 12, China 12, and then Great Britain follows with 10.
Quickly to the USA men's basketball game yesterday with what we saw from Kevin Durant. Hadn't played a lick. He was practicing, and everybody said, well, he's practicing, but he didn't play a lick during the so-called preseason as they got ready for the Olympics. Manucci comes out, he scores 23, never missed a shot in the first half.
Yeah, 8 for 9 on the day, and you go, I thought he had a bad calf strain. Well, it might have been to the point where the last couple of weeks, they might have been playing a little possum.
You think so?
Yeah, the USA team saying, you would not put a guy in there and he'd be that effective if he hasn't practiced, I would say full go for about a good week. And I think Steve Kerr had kind of hinted that he had practiced pretty hard, but they didn't want to lead anybody up to it. Serbia say, hey, look, he's struggling a lot. He'd be lucky to get on the court. But I thought it was a very solid game. They continued to pull away as each quarter went on.
Right.
And what does it tell you when a Jason Tatum doesn't even get off the bench? And from that standpoint, tells me is, okay, the alpha dogs, the guys that Steve Kerr wanted on that court, were the guys that they were going to win with. And every guy's going to have his own role.
Correct.
So, and I think that anytime you get a bunch of, whether outstanding women or men on a team, hey, look, you're here to help us win. Leave your ego at the door. Don't worry about your playing time. But I also thought it was pretty interesting that Steve Kerr made a point to say, well, Jason Tatum will be playing on Wednesday night.
Yep.
I don't think he has to do that. I think he just has to comment and say, hey, look, our guys are playing well together. We got a good group of guys who are on the bench or coming off the bench. Depending on the situation, guys are going to get their playing time. And we're not going to really worry about it right now because the common goal is to win the goal.
It is. That is the common goal. But the backlash from Tatum not even sniffing the court was unbelievable.
I could care less about the backlash.
I'm with you.
I want to see the United States just win the goal.
Yeah.
And think about that dream team, Jimmy.
Yeah.
All the guys they had on that team, there were several guys that got 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes.
Right.
And you know what? To that point, it's like I don't even pay attention to it. I was like, did you win the gold or not? And you enjoyed watching him play, but watching KD come out and shoot lights out. But I really felt that Devin Booker, he was, may I call him the co-MVP of the game? How well he played defensively. His shot, what did he hit? 3 out of 4 threes?
Yes.
3.
So you can tell he's been working on his 3-point shooting. And I will say this, Mike Budenholzer's got to be happy, not only with KD, but seeing Devin Booker, shoot the 3-point shot with a lot of confidence. So a lot of good things for Suns fans. But as far as who's playing and not playing, I really don't care.
Okay.
Who wins the game?
All right. So that brings us then to this story. And a lot of different entities are broadcasting the Olympics worldwide. They are on different entities. This is Eurosport, and a Olympic broadcaster made what they termed a sexist comment. His name is Bob Ballard, and he was commentating on the Australian team winning the gold in swimming, and Ballard could be heard off microphone saying this, and I'm quoting, "Well, the women are just finishing up. You know what women are like, hanging around doing their makeup." End quote. Manuch, he was kicked off the coverage of Eurosports for that commentary. Did he cross the line in your estimation or not?
I don't think so. I think that us, you being a broadcaster, Jimmy, for so many years, me being a color guy, I think the last 5 years I've had to be very aware of what to say, what not to say, and also be very aware when my mic is hot, when my mic is not hot.
Right.
So when you put down the mic, and if there's things you're going to say that you want people to hear, and you assume that they're going to turn the mics down, right? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Aside from that, can we just stop taking ourselves so seriously? I mean, it wasn't as if he was trying to be derogatory. He was just trying to be funny.
Funny, yeah. He was probably making a joke to somebody.
So long to come to receive their gold medals. They got to get their makeup worked out.
Yeah.
Okay. So why is Eurosports Olympic coverage got to have heartburn for something like that? Now a lot of folks might be saying, "Well, Manuch, what the guy? You don't say the guy's got to, they got to do their whatever it is." I'm like, okay, but it was off the mic. It was hot. The guy's been doing this forever. He's been a broadcaster
long time. Yep.
Bob Ballard's been around. He's a very well respected broadcaster. And I think that at some point, maybe you reprimand him for a game, but to pull him off completely?
I agree.
So I guess it's yet as far as the coverage is concerned, how long they pull him off, at least for now, he's been removed as a commentator for the remainder of the Paris game.
He did come back and make an apology on X, so he did indeed do that. But man, oh man, that's really pushing the envelope as far as I'm concerned.
How aware now, Jimmy? Were you aware even back then on a hot mic, off air, so to speak?
I learned because I had a swear word that was off mic that you could barely hear on the air. And from that point on, anytime I'm around a microphone, I always treat it that it's hot.
And I think what might have, moved this forward is that, according to the Daily Mail, Ballard's commentary partner, Lizzie Simmons, called the comments outrageous. Outrageous. I mean, how outrageous is that? Okay, he's just making a joke. What is wrong with that? And it's off mic, even though it was heard.
Yep.
I mean, everybody just needs to settle down and relax. It was not a derogatory comment whatsoever.
All right, coming up, it's our G2G protein bar game changers over the weekend. We're broadcasting live today here at the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for billiards, poker, and trivia. And now, the Roc and Manuch Amber by Huss Brewing. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, daily specials, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Amber drafts. Arena Sports Grill.
You didn't have any experience dealing with car wreck. But Lerner and Rowe does. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner and Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is here, which means my team and I are ready to serve you and your family. Go to state48roofing.com. Scan the QR code below. We'll see you up on your roof.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G Protein Bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G Protein Bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. Court-appointed special advocates, known as CASAs, are assigned to children as advocates during their experience in the foster care system. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about court-appointed special advocates. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
This is the famous footwear that makes us actually want to go back to school. With the newest styles from all your favorite brands, like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. You'll find everything kids want, all at prices parents can appreciate. But you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Famous footwear even has fit in store to make sure you get the right size every time. So for the perfect fit, make it famous. Plus, right now, buy one, get one half off when you shop your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Meant for mornings. The Drive with Jody Ayler. Listen tomorrow, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. We roll till 4 o'clock today. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're here at Casino, Arizona, hanging out at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book. It is time now for our G2G Game Changers of the Weekend. G2G bars have been a game changer, and now they are available in Costco. Check out the refrigerated section, and you'll see what I mean. Also, just go online at G2GBar.com. Manuch, let's start with you.
I'm going to go with J.J. McCarthy on Saturday night, going 5 for 5. He had 1 RBI, 1 run scored, and had his 14th stolen base. And then the next day, yesterday, he starts it all off with a triple and gets a run batted in. And basically, when you look at that over 2 days, going 6 for 6, he probably had a G2G bar before the game, during the game, and had a couple after the game, and then before yesterday's game. So I got to go J.J. McCarthy.
Jake McCarthy.
Yeah,
Jake.
I'm sorry, Jake McCarthy.
You might need a G2G.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
We're saying J.J. McCarthy.
Yes, correct.
Jake McCarthy.
You're thinking of football in Minnesota right now with the Vikings rookie QB.
Got a lot of football in my mind.
Yeah,
but I
I'm
mean,
sure you do.
Thinking about that, so Jake McCarthy would be my G2G protein bar outstanding athlete.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going with Kevin Durant. And I think it was pretty obvious here with what he accomplished yesterday, not participating in any of the tune-up games for the Olympics at all. Comes off the bench, scores 23, did not miss a shot in the first half, and then the United States rolled away from Serbia. So Kevin Durant on fire yesterday. He gets my G2G game bar for his performance at the Olympics. Jax.
I'm going to go Tyus Jones.
Okay.
And because I know there's a perspective of the Matt Ishbia and James Jones of them acquiring Tyus Jones, but I think for him to come in and want to change the Phoenix Suns and change the trajectory of his career, he's getting into his 10th season, guys. And for him to take a massive pay cut, a guy that's making $14, $15 million a year, deservedly so, to come on a roster, improve You know that he's a game changer and can hopefully propel the Phoenix Suns to win a championship. But you look at some of the last years for this guy, 12 points, 7 assists for the Washington Wizards, and you could argue he'd have more assists if he didn't have to pass to guys like Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole all day. Now he gets to pass to guys like Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. And then you even look past that. When you look at the Memphis Grizzlies and what he did there, and when they didn't have John Morant, you could argue the offense ran better when Tyus Jones was on that team. So I think for Tyus Jones to take a pay cut and to come on a championship roster that desperately needs a point guard, he deserves a G2G protein bar.
There you go. Those are our G2G protein bar game changers. All right, Manuch, what's going on this day?
Well, I'll go back to 2018. The Hall of Fame inducts one of the largest classes in its history for a crowd of more than 50,000 in Cooperstown, New York. The honored are Vladimir Guerrero, Trevor Hoffman, Chipper Jones, Jack Morris, Jim Tomey, and Alan Trammell. 4 of them have been elected by the BBWAA. I have no idea what that is, Jimmy. And Morris and Trammell.
The baseball writers.
I got it. and Morris and Trammell by the Veterans Committee, as that's what I mentioned, for Morris and Trammell to finally be voted in by the Veterans Committee. 2007, it was Tony Gwynn and Cal Ripken Jr. inducted into the Hall of Fame from that last standpoint. Got to go back to 1986.
Okay.
Tough day for me, folks.
Uh-oh.
U.S. United States Football League wins and lost it against the Football League. That's right. The jury finds NFL violated antitrust laws, and the USFL claimed the awards of $1 in damages for a total of 3 times, which is $3. The jury apparently misunderstood the instructions by the judge in reference to you have the ability to reward the amount of damages and then triple those damages. That $1 should have been over $1 billion to get that to over $3 billion. Jimmy, as far as USFL was concerned that day, game, set, and match. Where was I when the decision went down?
Where were you, Manuch?
I was sitting in my cubicle when I was doing commercial real estate at Dow Webb Commercial Real Estate, just off the I-10 and baseline. I got the call from my good buddy Fred Khalil, who was at Channel 10. And the ironic thing is, Fred had just did a story about me selling real estate and playing for the Arizona Outlaws, getting ready for training camp to be happening in August. That came out, and then about a month later, he called me and said, Manuch, can I come out and see you? It looks as though you guys lost. You won the case, but you lost the money. Talk about a hard day. I'm going, well, I guess I'll be working for a living from here on out.
How devastated were you when that took place, knowing that that was the end of the USFL?
Well, Jimmy, we had an open and shut case. We were, all right, we know we're going to prove it to them. And then the damage is the whole thing. How did they not misunderstand the awarded damages? We should have got about $3 billion out of that. And then the USFL could have competed or been an expansion NFL team or competed with the National Football League in the fall. And the main reason why this lawsuit came is because USFL, led by Donald Trump at the time.
He owned the New Jersey Jets.
Yes, wanted to move it football to fall.
Right.
We were doing just fine in spring. So the NFL lost the lawsuit, but we lost in the long run. So, yeah, it was devastating. It's like, it's mid-August. Everybody else is in camp. All the training camps are going on. And from that standpoint, we were all dressed up, nowhere to go. Guys like Jim Kelly went on and went to their team.
Went to Buffalo, yeah.
Steve Young went to Tampa Bay. A lot of guys that had been picked by the USFL, by the NFL teams, they just went back to the teams they got picked by.
Okay.
So for some of us, we were basically, caught holding the bag, so to speak, nowhere to go. So we had to kind of bide our time and hope that they might pick us up during the season or wait another 6 months to get picked up from that standpoint.
What else you got?
Well, today is National Chicken Wing Day. The mayor of Buffalo, New York, declared it a holiday in 1977. Had no ideas what a chicken wing was until I got to Buffalo. I said, what? Where's the rest of the chicken? So it's the 48th year. It's been celebrated. A group that tracks America's eating habits found we've eaten 1.3 billion of them in the past 12 months, of 5% year over year. If you want to help and add to that total, there's some spots around the valley you can go to.
Okay.
Wingstop has free wings with any purchase. You can order online through their app and use the code FREEWINGS. You can track on 5 wings for free. Buffalo Wild Wings has free wings if you spend $10. Use the code GOWINGS and get 6 free wings with your order. Applebee's has a buy one, get one deal in your order through the app and use the code WINGDAY24. Popeyes, I love Popeyes, has a buy one, get one deal. Buy 6 wings, get another 6 for just $1. And Hooters, Jimmy's favorite, a similar deal. But you better be hungry if you can find one that's out there. Buy 10 wings, get another 10 free. And that's pretty much the gist of where you can go to get those free wings.
The Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York is apparently the originator of Buffalo wings, and they have been open like forever, as long as I can remember. Manuch, I'm sure you went there when you played.
Many times, and I will say this, the folks that opened up used to be native New Yorker called Native Wings, pretty much followed that and brought that out here to Phoenix, Arizona. When I said, what is a chicken wing, in reference to you had to eat like 90 of them to get filled with your celery and your carrots and you got a little beef on wick on the side from that standpoint too.
I'm telling you, the Anchor Bar, if you're ever like go visit Niagara Falls or you're taking a vacation and you roll into Canada, you owe it to yourself to stop at the Anchor Bar.
And they would, the linemen after meetings were over would call. There was in Niagara Falls, there was a wing restaurant still up until midnight.
Okay.
So our linemen, after the meetings at night, if they didn't have any food, they'd go to the payphone. And they'd call and say, hey, we're at Niagara Falls. And they'd say, we're on the 5th floor. Can you deliver, blah, blah, blah. You wake up in the morning, and then, because we're all either between quarterbacks and linemen or whatever, you come out there, and there's this little area there that had like coffee tables or whatever. There'd be like 20 boxes of nothing but bones. And it's all the linemen they that night last night, they got, at midnight, they had about 90 wings or more than that come in. So just be all over the place. Just, like, who, if there's rats here in Niagara Falls, these bad boys are going to have a feast on whatever wings are left over.
That's why linemen weigh over 300 pounds right there.
I'll never forget my first set of wings. Where's the rest of the chicken? I mean, it was 2 bites and it was gone.
Yeah.
But that was the magic and allure of the chicken wing.
There you go. A little history about the Anchor Bar in beautiful Buffalo, New York. Manuch, where are we going to be Thursday?
Thursday will be at the Twin Peaks. We're at 20th Street and I'm going to say Camelback.
Okay.
The southeast corner. It would be just east of the Nordstrom right there. So come on out there. So Twin Peaks on Camelback at 20th Street and 20th Street right there at southeast corner.
And now through Thursday, Twin Peaks is offering up wings as well. That's right. Twin Peaks, the best wings now through Thursday. And we will be at the Camelback location on Thursday from 1 to 4. And don't forget, Summer Bikini Bash Costume Party is officially here. And you can cool off with your favorite Twin Peaks girls all week and celebrate with specials on our favorite cheap shots, Pete's signature taps, mules, and so much more. It's all available at Twin Peaks. All right, a quick timeout. When we come back, Craig Fooey, ABC 15 Sports Director. He's going to join us for a little Factor Fooey, and we're going to talk Cardinal football as well. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're hanging out today at the CAZ Sportsbook.
We're old. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The Cardinals continue to host open practices at training camp today and tomorrow. Their preseason opener is August 10th against the Saints. Brittany Griner at 11, and she pulled down 9 rebounds for Team USA as they beat Japan at the Olympics, 102-76. Kalia scored 4 points for Diana Taurasi. 23 for Kevin Durant as the men's team beats Serbia to open their Olympic campaign. Devin Booker had 12. Next up,
I won't
South
call him until you
Sudan
tell me
on
to.
Wednesday. The Diamondbacks pitched in Montgomery against the Nationals. Mike Hazen could look to add another pitcher ahead of tomorrow's trade deadline. I'm Frank County on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail. And the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by 2 words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Vans Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Life's a sprint. Need G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2Gbar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
If your AC is over 10 years old and you're dreading the inevitable replacement, fret no more. This month, Parker & Sons has state-of-the-art high-efficiency heating and AC systems for $99 a month. Just $3 a day. Wow!
$3 a day? That's less than a fast food cheeseburger.
$3 a day? I'm paying that for a gallon of gas. And with a yearly utility savings in the $600 range, it pays to act now. Call Parker today at 602-2, then REPAIR. Parker & Sons. We're not your average Joe. ROC 152656.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
You're hot.
Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're here at Casino, Arizona at the CAZ Sportsbook. Jax is here. We got Chris Schubert back in the iHeartRadio studios. Now, generally at this time, we do ABC Channel 15 Sports Director Craig Fouhy, and we do his Factor Fouhy, but he is currently right now watching the Arizona Cardinals practice. So if he gets to us in this segment, we will indeed put him on the air. Manuch, this is one of your favorite times of the year other than when the games are actually played. They are in pads today. How does that change your whole perception?
Well, first they have pads. I mean, I'm interested to see how Jonathan Gannon, how he works practices this year as opposed to last year. Now, he has mentioned he wants his team to be more physical. And I thought we saw an uptick in physicality last year. I thought we did. Really wants to focus on the running game. That's going to be really important for this team to focus on that. But my whole contention is when you hardly hit, how do you get that physicality? Now, I know these guys are pros, folks. We get it. But, I mean, you have to establish that kind of identity, that kind of a rhythm and tempo from the get-go to have that kind of hard-nosed feeling if you're going to have a good running game. On the other side, the defensive side, they've got to learn or figure out how to put pressure on the quarterback and stop the run. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't happen, Jim, unless you're physical. And I think like any skill, you have to continue to work on your skill to be good at it. The passing game, timing, tempo, where to put the ball, the receivers running the proper routes, in reference to chemistry. But, if you're going to be physical, you've got to get into that. Not that you have to hit every day, but there got to be certain days. And I'm sure today, practice was supposed to end at 2:40. I can see where a lot of guys get tied up, like Coach Fouhy and a lot of other guys. Right. Because if they felt that they wanted to do more with that, that's fine. And a lot of times, like in Buffalo, we hardly ever hit or hit at all. But we were in full pads. But the main contention was basically, we called it thud, but technique. But at times in the games, we made it a bounded determination. We'd focus on the running game. We'd focus on stopping the running game. We'd focus on pressure. We focus on things that needed to be physical. So you had those in the preseason games, and a lot of times, and so many guys don't play, where they're going to get that contact, contact or that skill, especially the offensive lineman.
But Manuch, you know that the collective bargaining agreement has changed dramatically since you were playing in a leather helmet. So now there are only so many days of practice that you are limited in having contact.
Yeah, I get all that. I understand that, but I mean, you have to do that.
Okay.
You've got to go. I think with Jonathan Gannon and his staff is okay, since we're limited on contact, since they're in shells or helmets half the time, then you got to make sure that it's physical, and then everybody, when you make contact, you stay up. You don't want anybody hitting below, below the belt, so to speak. So I think that's got to be it. But I think right now, when I watch teams that got the physicality with their running game, I mean, you watch San Francisco, you watched, even when you watched the Chiefs, you watch, the Baltimore Ravens, those teams that really are kind of ground and pound. Even with Lamar Jackson, they had a hell of a running game. I look at Tennessee. With Henry and the way he ran the ball, they focused on that physicality with the limited time they had.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is I just hope that they take advantage of that and actually make contact to where they can get enough reps in. So when you see running games in the National Football League, I think once the real games start is when you start to see some of that continuity come to place.
I've got some questions that I'll throw at you, but one more football here on the Cardinals. How much do you think that the starters will participate now that there are only 3 preseason games?
Well, I think for a guy like
you keep preaching physicality.
Yeah, I think for if you're some of the starters, like a James Conner doesn't really need to play that much at all. As long as the running back long in the tooth. But I think everybody else, I would hope to see the starters play at least a good quarter to 2 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
You probably won't see. You might see some of that in the first game, second game, third game. You'll probably see a lot of free agents, a lot of rookies play, because there's a lot of rookies on this team, Jim. When you stop and look about this Cardinals team that have chance at starting, so if you're going to put them out there from day one, I think that Marvin Harrison Jr. will get enough reps. I think the guys that I'm going to have to watch that on the defensive side, they're going to need some reps and some actual game experience, will be Darius Robinson and Max Melton.
Okay.
Max Melton, cornerback's got a real good chance of starting. Now, if they get 3-4 weeks in the preseason and see, they need to see how he reacts in a game type scenario. Same with Darius Robinson. You remember, you're coming up against the big boys now. So for Darius Robinson as the edge rusher, he's going to be playing against guys that are 6'7", 6'8", 340, 350. Try getting around that tree stump if you can. So I think with Max Melton, Trey Benson's going to need some reps.
I agree with that.
I think he's going to need some reps. As far as you look at your four third-round choices, I think this is interesting. When you got Isaiah Adams at offensive tackle, Tip Raymond as a tight end, Elijah Jones again as a cornerback, and then you got Taylor Demonson, who's their 4th-round pick at safety. Those 4 guys are going to need some kind of live reps in game situations to see how they react. They can see how they react in scrimmages at practice. That's all well and good.
Right.
But when the lights go on, I call them faux lights since it's preseason. I don't poo-poo those folks because I look forward to those faux lights in preseason.
I know you did.
But, I mean, they got to see how those guys react, these young guys react, if they're going to be in the mix for starting spots.
It's interesting to me because so much of the attention on offense is going to be on Marvin Harrison Jr. And everybody that we have spoken to said, nope, he's the number 1 guy. So is Michael Wilson then, in your estimation, the guy who is the number 2 wideout? And if that is the case, is he ready for that?
Yeah, I think he's, he was off injured last year. I think there was times I went and watched the San Francisco game and he had a good game. I think at the end of the year, he started to kind of, get his land legs about him. And I thought that the Cardinals felt pretty good to him. For him being in the lineup. Yes, to answer your question, he needs to take that next step up as far as progression in a receiver. We'll catch up with Frank Sanders here, a former Arizona Cardinal receiver, at 3:30, and we'll get his thoughts on the moving up of one Michael Wilson as far as that receiver. Big kid, strong kid, got good speed, doesn't have the home run gear that a Marvin Harrison Jr. has. But I think in reference to coordinating that passing game, you look at Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, Greg Dortch. You look at that lineup and you go, you feel pretty good on paper for what you're seeing, and then incorporating. And let's not, in reference to all that and those guys being part of that, to just make sure that timing is there that all those things are pretty much going to be part of that when they get things going. Also, you think of Zay Jones being another big piece of that
there you
too.
go. Yep.
The veteran. Here's a guy that can make some things happen. Zach Pascal, incorporating all those guys early into the season to see who takes. I wouldn't say takes the lead, but they can have that in unison is going to be very key during this training camp.
It's interesting for me with everything that people have stated about this upcoming team, meaning the Cardinals, and the excitement that has been generated by that, the return and a healthy Kyler Murray, and what everybody saw in the last 8 games of last season, the addition then of Marvin Harrison Jr., has that just flipped the switch? Just those 2 items, Manuch, it seems that there is I guess a total renewed interest in the Cardinals.
Well, I think it could be. I mean, if you look at dynamic duos over the years,
yeah.
I mean, you think when Peyton Manning got the Marvin Harrison seniors about it, when you looked at Aaron Rodgers and some of the studs he's had and some of the 1-2 combinations, you could think back. But, yeah, that does. I mean, that adds some juice to the offense. I mean, Hollywood Brown, you didn't see that juice.
No.
I mean, we kept waiting and waiting, but I think by the time that Kyler Murray got comfortable in those last 8 games, as you talked about, there was never any threat down the field. So now, I think with Marvin Harrison Jr. and also with Michael Wilson and having that capability of Trey McBride to kind of occupy the center stage or the middle of the field, all of a sudden, if Michael Wilson can take that next step up, defenses are going to have to pick their poison if he can prove that he's taking the next step up. Now, with Marvin Harrison Jr., he's going to have to get used to physicality, getting off the line of scrimmage. Good luck as a rookie, getting off the line of scrimmage.
But everybody's penciling him in as the star.
Well, he'll be the starter. Well, okay. Well, we'll see.
Okay.
Now, I would hope he can be the star.
Okay.
I would hope they put him in situations. Now, if they find him having trouble, now what they'll see at training camp, you'll see the defensive backs at training camp, a lot of bump and run, a lot of man-to-man coverage, but a lot of it, Jimmy, is just getting off the line of scrimmage and trying to get off the line of scrimmage and not get tied up at the line of scrimmage. Now, once the real games start, not preseason, I'm talking about the real game. We're like starting off against Buffalo. He's going to face so much more physicality from these defensive backs to see how he handles that. And if he has a hard time, because a lot of rookie receivers have a hard time getting off the line of scrimmage, especially with veteran cornerbacks. I mean, I saw in person. We had Jerry Butler, our second-round pick. He was a star coming out of Clemson, runs a 4.3. He's 6'1", and he had, I'll never forget this. We played the Pittsburgh Steelers last game of the year, and Jerry played against a lot of starters during the season.
Yep.
But there were several times Jerry could not get off the line of scrimmage, basically. And I forget the cornerback's name, the
3
Hall of Fame cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers many, many years ago. I forget who it was, but he couldn't get off the line of scrimmage.
Wow.
He contained him the very first half. So Joe Ferguson had to go back to Frank Lewis, a veteran wide receiver, that could get off the line of scrimmage and get it. So I'll be very interested to see how that dynamic plays out. You might have all the skill set, but guess what? You got to get 5 yards down the field and keep that timing going.
This name just flashed into my small little brain. Was it Mel Blount?
Blount, yeah.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, those Steelers were Super Bowl championship
Oh, they
teams.
were.
That was the Iron Curtain.
Yeah.
So getting off the line of scrimmage.
Steel
curtain. Yeah, I'm thinking about the Iron Curtain. But you know what? I think my rookie year, did I realize the physicality, that the nature you have, and I think that's what Jonathan Gannon wants, is to have that kind of physicality for somebody to go, hey, look, this is going to be very difficult because he's a rookie. He's a stud, right?
Right, yeah.
He runs a 4.3, but he can't get off the line of scrimmage, or they're going to bump him down the field, or when they come across the middle, Jimmy, they lay the wood with you coming across the middle.
I know that's the case. Okay, quickly to baseball. Diamondbacks play tonight. They begin the series against the Washington Nationals. It's your call question of the day is, do you think that they will make a deal before the trading deadline, which is tomorrow? And that is for a starting pitcher, a reliever, another bat, or no trades at all. Just go to Roc and Manuch on X or Twitter. Cast your vote. What do we got so far?
Yeah, so far, another reliever at 36.8%. And that is followed by another starting pitcher, 26.3%, and then another bats at 21%, and then make no trades at all, 15.8%. A lot of folks are feeling that Mike Hazen is looking to do something by the deadline tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, Thursday, we're going to be at the Camelback Twin Peaks, so you can come out and hang out with us there. And by the way, Twin Peaks and us, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, are giving you a chance to win a new big screen smart TV for the upcoming football season, and you can pick the size all the way up to 85 inches. Right now, just text PEAKS to 59925. That's PEAKS to 59925. Standard message data rates apply. Enter right now. Just text PEAKS to 59925, and we will be at the Camelback Twin Peaks on Thursday. All right, everybody, coming up, we want to remind you as well, you can cool off with your favorite Twin Peaks refreshments at Twin Peaks. And the Twin Peaks girls all week celebrating with specials, their favorite cheap shots, the Peaks signature taps, and so much more. Once again, that is at Twin Peaks. Casey Walsh from the CAZ Sportsbook. We're going to talk some NFL predictions with him as well. He is on the way. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Need an electric charger installed or a TV mounted? Contact AC Electrical Family at aceelectricalfamily.com or call 602-577-1392. That's aceelectricalfamily.com to book your free quote now. AC Electrical Family. Power up with the best.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Is it time for an all-in-one wireless printer with tons of connectivity options? With Document Solutions of the Valley, you can buy, lease, or rent models that work off of your smartphone. Call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu with the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Get out of the heat and play at Dukes. Dukes on Miller and McDowell. A huge new game room is open with foosball, pool tables, shuffleboard, darts, and Pop-A-Shot basketball.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
With 3 10-foot TV screens and dozens more big screens, you'll find every game you're looking for.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where Dukes, Miller and McDowell. Shots it.
Are you an annoying know-it-all? Answering questions no one asked of you? Do people often ask you, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts specifically trained to help match you with the right mattress, so anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Time for the best bets, locks, and daily wager picks, courtesy of the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Now joining the guys is CAZ Sportsbook expert Casey Walsh.
From Boston.
Exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
Anything possible! Everybody hanging out, Casino, Arizona, here at the CAZ Sportsbook. Casey is with us right now. So my first question is Olympics. And with everything that has transpired, man, oh man, the ratings for the Olympics so far on NBC are astronomical. People are just dialed in. So are you taking a lot of action on men's basketball? I'm just curious if that's a big betting topic with the USA team.
Yeah, we've taken big money on the games, individual games, as well as U.S. to win the medal. That's what we have for that. We're also offering for women as well.
Okay. So what else then do you offer for Olympic betting?
We have those. Then we have the men's, women's soccer, and then we'll have the golf matchups as well that start on Wednesday.
Now, just the USA team or for all golf?
For all the golf, all
Wow.
the matchups for that.
Wow.
Are there, besides the over and unders, are there any kind of props for the Olympics whatsoever?
No props.
No props whatsoever as far as medal counts and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, nothing like that. Just the individual games. Like, we don't even have the props for, say, like Team USA, like LeBron over X amount of points.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's pretty much just pick the game, the side, and the totals.
Have the point spreads been to your liking, or because I remember when they had the point spread, it was 43 points against South Sudan.
South Sudan.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the exhibition game.
Yeah.
For game one against Serbia, it was minus 12.5. Over under was 184.5. At close, it was US minus 13.5. And the total stayed pretty much relatively the same.
Are you surprised how many people come in here at the Sportsbook at Casino Arizona and actually will bet on Olympic games and what have you? Or is it low, slight, slow, fast? I mean, how would you rate it?
I mean, it's not a big part of the handle for sure. It's people just betting USA and everything. We did have people betting on Canada as well. But there's really nothing to bet on right now.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
To be honest, the handle that we already have for Thursday night's preseason games actually kind of crazy. How many people have come in to bet that already?
Are you serious? Really?
Oh yeah, we got people betting the over 33. We got people all over the Bears. Like what do we got? Caleb Williams playing the series out there. It's nuts how much interest there is in NFL preseason.
It's funny you brought Thursday, the first preseason game.
Thursday.
August 1st is here.
Yeah,
it's upon us.
Yeah.
I mean, and that shocks you. So when you look at, I got to imagine, look at what's going on as far as the regular season, the wins, the totals, pretty much. Will that fluctuate or change much at all as the season goes on? I mean, people are going to have to pretty much stand by their bet, so to speak, whether they do it now or first day before the regular season starts.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have pretty much, what they call your sharper bettors have pretty much already bet what sides they're on. So there's not really any other person that's going to really come in and move that number.
Okay.
So, whatever you see the number at now is probably what you're going to see the number for at week one, unless you have a major injury in preseason.
It's you watch all these over-unders, and for the Cardinals, was it 6.5?
6.5
for them. So which way are folks leaning on that one?
6.5. More people are betting towards the over on that, and the over is actually like pretty highly juiced. It's minus like 150 to win 100.
Is there another team that's very similar to the Cardinals that people are giving more benefit of the doubt for the over than the under?
Jets by far. Jets are at 9. Jets are at 9.5.
Wow.
Everybody's betting the Jets as well.
That's incredible. And Aaron Rodgers was so upset today after practice as well. Called out everybody.
Yeah.
That's got to be great in New York.
So the sloppiness called out by Aaron Rodgers isn't going to affect that over-under?
No, not really. Everybody's going to bet him. AFC East, everybody's on him. Nobody's given the Dolphins any shot, which is kind of surprising.
See, that's where I'm at right now. And I've said it on this show. If to me, this is the best thing that could ever happen to Miami Dolphins. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah,
they're below the radar.
Yeah, I think so for sure. The Bills are the top dog in that conference at 10.5 wins, which is kind of hard to see. But Dolphins for sure, I think, are the team under the radar there.
For me, it's a case in point now where people are starting to get excited, and you just said people are going nuts because it's the Thursday exhibition game that's going to take place.
Can't wait for that one.
I know.
Wait, what's the over-under for Caleb Williams plays?
Yeah.
3? I'd give him a quarter. I'd probably say at least a quarter.
You think he's going to play a quarter?
No, I bet he plays a series.
You know what?
I think 2 series, max.
I'd probably say 2 or 3 series. I think they're going to kind of fill it. But that's kind of where people are at. They're kind of jonesing for NFL football to how many series, how many plays, And what's the over-under for how many plays one Caleb Williams plays? I could see that happening.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's all over the place. Like the total in the game set at 32.5 right now. So
that's nuts. So when preseason begins, and for me, for the most part, I always tell people, if you want to lose your money, bet preseason, unless you're going to play the under. And is that a fair assessment? Because you have no real idea how much the players that you will see in the regular season are actually going to see time on the field.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think it's a fair assessment. Then, I mean, the guys that are, your fourth, fifth stringers that aren't even going to make the team are going to get a lot more of the playing time. A lot of people see that low number at 32 to 34, and they say there's no way that they can stay under. And then you'll see the scores will be, 9 to 3, 12 to 6. So, yeah, I mean, I think preseason for sure, you tend to definitely see a lot more unders come in than the overs.
Yeah, this is interesting because you see the Olympics, not so much it's a lull, but the preseason, everything's pretty much in full play, but say for hockey because you got basketball. So you said that for a lot of folks, you looked at the Olympic golf, soccer, both men and women, the basketball, all the other particulars. So people are kind of joneses for something to lay, put some bets on.
Other than baseball.
Other than baseball.
Yeah.
So this is kind of their therapy time.
Yeah.
Kind of taking some time off, or do you find them getting a little more involved with the Olympics, knowing that everything else is around the corner?
Olympics, not too much into it. It's just I said, they're just betting USA men. That's it, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, we had a little bit today on US women, but a few $100, might have 1,000 max on the day.
Okay.
NBA or not Team USA was much more than that, but it's not big.
Yeah, it's always good, pal, when you take time to come on the show. We always appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks
there
for
you
having
go.
me.
That's Casey Walsh, everybody, here at the CAZ Sportsbook. It is a sports fan's paradise. Just come on out, hang out, talk with Casey. He'll set you up. He'll take good care of you here at the CAZ Sportsbook. All right, hour number 3 is coming up. We're going to get you caught up on some of the top stories. You'll also hear from D-backs beat writer Nick Picoro talking about what the Diamondbacks are doing on a possible trade before the deadline, which takes place tomorrow. And also Frank Sanders at 3:30. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here at the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona on Fox Sports 910.
Clear. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Calling all poker players. Join us for the 18th annual Arizona State Poker Championship held at Talking Stick Resort. $1.5 million is up for grabs. Registration is now open for the August 15th through the 21st event. Mark your calendar and get in on the first of many satellites and earn your spot. Don't miss your chance to be part of the most thrilling poker tournament of the year. Visit us at TalkingStickResort.com for scheduled events. Must be 21 to visit. Please gamble responsibly.
iHeartRadio brings the 2024 Paris Olympics straight to your car. Plug in the iHeartRadio app to your car's dashboard and listen to NBC's 24/7 live play-by-play coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. Listen now on the totally free iHeartRadio app.
The Paris Olympics are here. Tonight in men's gymnastics, Brody Malone leads Team USA against the world's best. Plus, a strong U.S. swim team continues its pursuit of gold. Prime time in Paris, tonight 8/7 Central on NBC and Peacock.
Today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood,
I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
There are many signs that you may be in financial trouble. Late mortgage payments, paying bills from your retirement account, or paying one credit card with another. If you're experiencing financial hardship, bankruptcy may be right for you. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. At Lerner & Rowe Law Group, we'll take the time to carefully examine your situation and develop a plan that is right for you. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group today for a free consultation.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Sean Forster, Managing Attorney.
Jay Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Rappy Law Group studio. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app. The exclusive audio NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
It'll be Jordan Montgomery on the mound for the D-backs in their series opener with the Nationals. GM Mike Hazen could look to add another pitcher ahead of tomorrow's trade deadline. The Cardinals continue to host open practices at training camp today and tomorrow. The preseason opener August 10th against the Saints. Brittany Griner at 11 points and 9 rebounds for Team USA in their 102-76 Olympic opening win against Japan. Kalia Copper at 4, Diana Taurasi 2. Kevin Durant with 23 for the men's team as they beat Serbia on Sunday. Devin Booker chipped in with 12. South Sudan up next on Wednesday. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, we'll look for those overnight lows in those upper 80s. And then for your Tuesday, maybe a few high clouds out there with our daytime high right around 107. For the Fox 10 Weather Experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America N.A. Copyright 2024.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Welcome back, everybody. Final hour as we wrap things up here this hour from Casino, Arizona. We're broadcasting live always on a Monday at the CAZ Sportsbook. It is located in the CAZ Sports Bar here at Casino, Arizona. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD3, also on the iHeartRadio app. Jax is with us here today, and Shu is back in the iHeartRadio studios. Manuch, we got a little baseball tonight. Brand new team in town to match up against the D-backs. It is the Washington Nationals, Jordan Montgomery on the mound tonight for the D-backs.
Yeah, you look at this. I mean, you got the 3-game series at home before you travel with a 6-game road trip. Before you come back here, 6-game road trip before you hit the road against Pittsburgh and against the Guardians, and you come back and take on the Phillies. So I think from here on out, when I look at Montgomery getting the start tonight, you got Nelson tomorrow night, and you got Zach Gallen, and then Brandon Font before you bring in Diaz, who I've been very impressed with Diaz.
Yeah, he's done very well.
I really have.
Yep.
But it seems as though, at least for now, that's pretty much going to be the rotation because that'll be followed by Montgomery, Nelson, Gallen, and Font. So that seems to be the scenario it is right now. Whether Merrill Kelly can come back, what they say, either the first couple of weeks within August is a determination on how the practice games go or the assimilated games that they're having, aside from the bullpen sessions. And then for Erod, who knows? So when I look at that rotation, Montgomery, Nelson, Gallen, Font, I think when Kelly comes back, I would probably say that Diaz will be bumped, obviously. And then from that standpoint, if they can hold serve with those 5 guys and maybe another guy, emergency starter if need be, and A.J. Puck could be that guy if there's any other injuries. So I think for Diamondback fans, you're hoping that Merrill Kelly is on track and they get him back here within the next 2 weeks. I think that's going to be vitally key. And I think for Mike Hazen, they got basically 24 hours.
You're looking at your watch.
Yeah, it's 24 hours to see if they go get another reliever based on the condition of Erod, where they go get another starter, which I doubt, or another bat. But I think it's pretty much going to be another reliever that they feel that can be improved in that bullpen. And I think they've got to also feel that, Paul Sewald can kind of get his act together, so to speak.
See, that's kind of scary to me right now with what has happened to him. And look, I know every player goes through a rough spot, and relievers are not immune to having rough spots. But that is if you were going to say what's the negative of that team right now, that's the spot.
Yeah,
as the closer.
And I think from when you look at the standings, and the main reason why is you got to take on the Pirates for another 3-game series.
Right.
So you kind of let one get away. You could have swept them, but you win the series. But I think what Torey Lovullo is trying to say in his pressers, we can't let that get away from us for a team that's in the hunt for the wild card spots. Because if it comes down to the last couple of days, and you're tied with the Pittsburgh, who has won the head-to-head?
There you go.
And when we look at it, folks, you look at it, there's 7 teams involved in this wild card race, which any one of the 7 could end up first, second, or third. Now, the only team that I would say, the Giants, are 3.5 back, but they've won 6 out of the last 10. The team that's really struggled is the Braves. They were at 4.5 up. They're only now 1.5 up because they've lost 6 out of 10. So you look at all the other teams, and I think the reason why the Diamondbacks have got to hold serve is because when you take on the Pirates of the world and the Padres of the world, the Padres right now are currently in second in that wild card. They're plus a half game. They've won 7 out of 10. So again, I think Torey Lovullo and his staff realize, look, wins are going to be hard to come by because you got these other teams that are involved in this race, which could go down. I wouldn't even say the last week. I'm going to say the last day, like it did last year.
Yeah.
So that's why he probably had a little heartburn. But for Sewald, if this continues, I think Mike Hazen and his skipper Torey Lovullo have got to make a decision on who would be that role, who would be that combined role in the 9th inning.
Our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day, ties right into what we're discussing. And by the way, for a free quote, repair, or installation, just head to state48roofing.com. You can follow them on social media by searching #SexyRoofStatus. Here's the question. With tomorrow as the MLB trading deadline, what type of player should the D-backs go and acquire? 4 options. 1, another starting pitcher. 2, another reliever. 3, another bat. 4, make no more trades. What have we got so far, Manuch?
And so far right now, the leader is another reliever at 36.8%, followed by another starting pitcher, 26.3%. That's interesting it would be that high. Or another bat's at 21.1%. Make no more trades whatsoever, 15.8%. Again, go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter and cast your vote.
All right, so the Phoenix Suns, like pulling a rabbit out of the hat. If you're a magician, you're absolutely thrilled with this trick that you just performed in front of everybody in the NBA. So how do the Phoenix Suns get a top point guard in Tyus Jones to sign for the veteran league minimum, which is just a little over $3 million, and they steal him away from the Washington Wizards and out from underneath other teams, which would probably pay him a lot more money.
And the thing that, to your point, seems like a coup, right?
Yes.
But I think it's got to be a two-way street for a guy like Tyus Jones. Where does he want to go where he has a chance, Jimmy, to win a title? He's in purgatory in Washington.
Absolutely.
Hell, like I mentioned, it ain't hell, but you can see it from there, But I mean, you look at his stats. He plays a lot of basketball games. He played 66 games last year.
Oh, yeah.
So he's healthy. Averages about 30 minutes a game. These are the numbers you like. He's averaging about 12 points per game. Field goal percentage, close to 50% when you look at it. 3-point percentage, 41.5%. So he's a solid shooter, not a big rebounder, about 2.7. The key I like here is 7.3 assists per game.
There you go.
He dishes it off. He's a good shooter. He's solid. He takes care of the basketball,
Doesn't turn it over.
Doesn't turn it over. One of the best turnover ratios in the NBA, and I think those are some of the things we see. A legitimate point guard. Yeah, a little longer in the tooth, but so what?
Yeah.
If you're 30, 31, you're going on 24, 25.
Hey, remember, they still have Monte Morris as well.
Exactly. So I think when I look at this, and especially where they commend him, you look at all the write-ups, and we just talked about, doesn't turn the ball over in the fourth quarter, takes care of the ball in the fourth quarter, helps his team with wins they had last year win the fourth quarter, and also helps his team contain the lead in the fourth quarter. So you see so many things surrounding Tyus Jones. You go, wow. For those of us, he's good, but you don't pay much attention to him because we're on this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you read a lot of stuff. You watch him, the way he moves the basketball, keeps the head up. I mean, just the two things about taking care of the ball and not turning the ball over and getting other guys involved in motion to go ahead and win basketball games. So you got he, and you got the big three on the court, and you got your big fella down low, and you're down by 5. Those guys can go get set up in their shots. He's going to set up the pick and roll. He's going to set them up.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be the fine maestro on the court, if you will. Not so much he's like that of a Steve Nash, the way that he was from that standpoint, but he can distribute the ball, and these guys get their shots, whether they're down or they need to close the deal out.
I'm really happy that they were able to acquire Jones, because now with him and Monte Morris, who is another legit point guard, they are pretty well set, and they are comfortable in that position. I will say this, Manuch.
Well, let me ask you this, Jimmy.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you thought of about Tyus Jones when you saw this signing?
Oh, legit point guard. That's the first thing. Because I know he can play. I've watched his career. He can flat out play the point position, just like Monty Morris can play the point guard position. So if there's an injury or somebody is going through a struggle of a few games, these two guys are pretty interchangeable. They really are. And they can take so much of the pressure off of Booker or Beal to get the offense started and get everybody into position in a hurry. And I do believe that Mike Budenholzer's offense is going to be faster, and it's going to move the basketball even more just because of Jones and Morris.
And they said it couldn't be done because of the salary issues, right?
Of the second tier apron that they're on.
Yeah,
yes.
and that's why I think it's a two-way street here. That's why Tyus Jones probably said, hey, look, sure, I'll take that league minimum, even though he's worth a lot more than that. Because I think of the situation he's up into.
I'm with you on that 100%. Cardinals in pads today. Manuch, you gotta be like ecstatic that you finally maybe heard. Did you hear them here from State Farm Stadium? The pads popping.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I just hope that they get themselves ready in reference to, because that last preseason game means a lot for, I think, not so much for the starters, but for their backup, their depth, their rookies. So you're losing that. So your third preseason game. So you got to figure out how you're going to configure moving that extra game, those extra practices in to those 3 preseason games, which really are going to mean a lot. Now, you'll have 2 weeks off before the start of the season after that third preseason game, which maybe some questions can be answered at that time. But Jimmy, there's nothing like preseason games to figure out with a lot of guys what they can handle and what they can't handle in order for them to be fighting for spots as the season starts.
All right, quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to go back to baseball with the Diamondbacks having a brand new opponent in town tonight in Washington. And Nick Picoro is indeed going to be our guest. He, of course, is the beat writer for AZ Central and the Arizona Republic. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, hanging out live at the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona, Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic. Clear from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
202 South Mountain Freeway northbound. This is approaching I-10. We have an accident off right. Stop and go traffic from Buckeye Road. 17 southbound near Indian School Road. There's an accident sitting off right. And we have an accident Broadway Road at 20th Street.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
Attention drivers, drive smart, Arizona. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, reminds you to follow the move over law. Vehicles move over and slow down. Keep our roads safe for all. Brought to you by All City Towing.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important. You need to consider the law firm's experience, results, and reputation. Lerner Rowe stands above other law firms when it comes to experience and results, helping over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. When it comes to reputation, we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and year after year, we have been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Call us today and let us put our experience, proven results, and reputation to work for you.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is upon us. Be proactive today. Go to state48roofing.com. Scan the QR code below. We want to take care of you. Be proactive. Get your maintenance done. We are home of the hashtag sexy roof status.
Need an all-in-one wireless copier and printer or IT help for your business? Call Document Solutions of the Valley, the official copier and IT solutions company for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Document Solutions is leading the Valley in business solutions for copier and IT service. They'll support your business no matter how big or small. Take advantage of either buying, leasing, or renting many makes and models of copiers. For a free quote, call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Yeah, 3-2. Launches one down the line. It's gone. Still home runs in the 10th, and it's a one-run game. Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM, HD3, also on the iHeart Radio app. Thank you to the MLB Network for the highlight of Gurriel's home run last night. Wasn't enough. 6-5 loss, the Cardinals losing to the Pirates. And that means that... The Diamondbacks, pardon me. Thank you. And that means that the... Washington is in town, the Nationals, beginning a series with the D-backs tonight. Nick Picoro is joining us right now, beat writer, Arizona Republic, and azcentralsports.com. You can always follow him on X at Nick Picoro. Nick, welcome to the show, pal, as always. So in your estimation, are they about ready now to change closers, or will they do it by a committee? And is Seawald going to be left out of that rotation?
I don't know. Yesterday it sounded like Torey Lovullo was going to stick with him, but I don't know. It's been a rough 3-4 week stretch here for Paul Seawald. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if they made a change, even if it was one of those, let's back him out of the role for a couple of days or, a couple of outings in a lower leverage spot and then go back to him. I think they would much prefer to have him in the ninth inning. I know he means a lot to that team in the clubhouse. I think they valued everything that he brought from a stabilizing perspective last season. And I think everything just kind of aligns really well when he is pitching the ninth inning and pitching it well. But he's been struggling lately, so, you can't keep giving away games. You can argue, though, that, they're playing well enough lately that, you can't really give away, there's never a good time to have a closer struggling, don't get me wrong. But, they've been able to have, a really good month of July despite it. He's been great. They've been great. He hasn't been. So they've been able to get through it. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Like I said, I know how much he means to that team and that clubhouse, but I wouldn't be surprised if they stuck with him a little bit longer.
Nick, it's interesting you bring that up. Listen to Torey Lovullo talk about it, a little trepidation there as far as a ringing endorsement one way or the other. But they've won 6 out of 9 since the All-Star break, and they've won 3 series in a row. Do you think Torey's going to lean on the side of that Sewell's got a little more credit or cachet because they won 3 series in a row to see how he ends up? Maybe he works himself out of this slump?
I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, it's hard to keep giving away games. Those can be demoralizing. Luckily, though, they have been winning a lot lately, and they haven't hurt in the same way. These guys have been bouncing back from these losses, and they've been losing games, and like, well, it's okay. We still took the series. They haven't just been these crippling defeats. When it first started, when his struggles first began, there was that night at Dodger Stadium, and that was a tough loss, and it felt like it was a bad omen because of how badly they needed to win at the time to kind of solidify themselves as buyers and as contenders. They've done that. They've already bought. They are contenders. It's hard to really look at this team and not see them getting into the playoffs at this point. But like I said, you can't keep giving away games in the 9th inning.
Nick Piccaro is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day, Nick. I want to throw it at you. With tomorrow being the MLB trade deadline, what type of player should the D-backs go and acquire? 4 options. 1, another starting pitcher. 2, another reliever. 3, another bat. 4, make no more trades. What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think they're trying to do. It's number 2, and that's another reliever. I think that was the second option, at least.
Yes,
it sounded to me like Hazen and company were pretty locked in on trying to add one more arm that could give them some coverage in the middle late innings. That kind of tells me that there's some willingness to move on from Miguel Castro, who's getting paid a lot of money, but really hasn't been able to put it together yet. I don't really feel like it's much of a reaction to Sewald, but look, I mean, if you do end up having to bump Sewald out of the 9th inning, and who knows what's going to happen to him after that? Like, from a confidence mentality perspective, is he really going to bring much after that? I don't know. I mean, I would like to think he still would, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Another reliever would be nice to have to kind of backfill there and give you another option in the late innings.
And Nick, on that point, 33.3%, which is in the lead, do agree with you, followed by another starting pitcher, 27.8%, which leads to my next question for you, Nick, is you think a lot of Hazen's decisions tomorrow, or even today, depend on the report, not so much on Merrill Kelly, but on the report of how Erod is progressing or not progressing. Will that determine for maybe another starter, per se?
Yeah, it certainly has been part of it for a while now. Everything that he's been saying that they've been hearing on all of those pitchers, or both of those pitchers, is that they're progressing well. Prior to that, it was Jordan Montgomery and how he was progressing too, and he's already back now. I think that if they were throwing their bullpens or throwing their sides and needing extra time or feeling more soreness than you'd expect, then he would be a lot more apt to be sniffing around on that rental starting pitching market. But look, I mean, it seems like those guys are all trending in the right direction. I don't know that there's too many guys that are going to be moved in the next 24 hours that are as good as those guys, frankly. I'm not sure how many guys have been moved thus far that are as good as those guys from a starting pitching perspective. So I think he's just kind of, trying to read and react to what's going on right now. And it seems like the thing to do is just to kind of bet on the health of those guys. I think you feel pretty good after watching what Yilber Diaz did in 4 starts, after seeing the way Ryan Nelson has pitched in the last month and a half. Worst comes to worst, those guys are making additional starts. Like, hey man, they went on their hottest stretch of the season with those two in the rotation.
I'm with you on that 100%, Nick. I went with no more trades just because I'm in agreement with what you just stated about what else is out there and would anybody else really help the team. So let me follow up then with this question. I know that we're just coming into August. Still got to play all August. Still got to play all of September. But is scoreboard watching now a thing in that dugout, or at least by the front office?
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure they're paying attention to how everybody's doing. I heard some grumbling about the Orioles not being able to beat the Padres a little bit more than they did over the weekend. I'm sure everybody's paying attention to what the Mets and the Braves even at this point are doing as well. There's a point last week when I wondered if we needed to start paying attention to the Dodgers a little more closely. Maybe it was right before before the All-Star break, but they kind of seem to have kicked it in gear here recently. I think the most likely outcome is they're going to end up in a wild card spot once again. The way they're playing, the way their roster looks, the way, Suarez has come around offensively in the last month. It just doesn't really feel like there's any, barring more injuries or something like that, I have a hard time not seeing these guys getting into the playoffs.
And I think, Nick, the point you made about, hey, tough to give those away, especially against a team like the Pirates, who are just 2 games back of the wild card. If it comes down to the last day or last week, they'll look at the head-to-head. But so far, as head-to-head's concerned, with the Giants and the Padres in front of you pretty much, you're not going to see the Mets much, if at all, the Cardinals or the Pirates again. That's vitally important if it comes down to that last day of the head-to-heads. And that's why I'm sure Torrey was a little perturbed after last night's loss.
Yeah, they have a tough schedule coming up the rest of the way too. When I was looking a week or so ago, I think it was the second or third toughest of all the contending teams in the National League the rest of the way. Look, every game could count. We saw it last year. Every game did count. And if anything else happens around the league, if Seiya Suzuki catches that fly ball, I think it was in Atlanta, the Cubs were playing last September, maybe the Diamondbacks don't make the postseason. So look, they've got to win as many games as they can. It's as simple as that.
Does Corbin Carroll finally get off the schneid, or is this what we're going to see the rest of the season?
I don't know. I know he's working hard. I know he always is working hard. And I know he cares a lot. And it just feels like he's really close. It's felt that way for most of the last few months to me, where he's taking, maybe a really good swing or two a night, and just can't really seem to find that consistency that he had last year, where it just felt like he was such a tough out every single time he stepped to the plate. But I'll tell you what, man, if they can't get him going, they're a really dangerous team. They're a dangerous team right now. If those starting pitchers come back healthy, the way Brandon Pfaadt has pitched, Ketel Marte is an MVP candidate. Christian Walker's a monster in the middle of the lineup. It's a tough team. It's a good bullpen, I still think. I just feel like if Corbin gets going the way he was last year, it just obviously adds a different level, different amount of depth to that lineup, and just makes them a more dynamic offense as well. They would be right where they were, in terms of being a scary team to face in the playoffs like they were last year.
Hey, last one real quick for you. Jordan Montgomery, after his last start, I thought very solid. Did he say anything in particular with the time off or his healing time might have helped mechanically wise that he's trying to recapture from the struggles he's had this year?
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that one. I was not in Kansas City when he made his start. I know he's been working on various things here and there, and sometimes to his detriment. I think he was trying to make little mechanical changes to get a mile per hour or two back on his fastball that he had lost from last year. And I think that's kind of what got him in all these struggles in the first place. So I don't know. I'm not very concerned about him. I look at what Blake Snell's been able to do with the Giants here the last 3-4 starts and has turned himself into a trade candidate and a guy who could opt out of his contract. And I don't think it's going to take much for Jordan Montgomery to do the same thing. I know a lot of people have talked about how, this contract doesn't look good and the Diamondbacks are going to get stuck with him for next year. I think there's a pretty decent chance he's going to pitch well enough that he's going to be able to opt out as well and go get a big payday, the kind of payday he was hoping to get last offseason. It doesn't take much. If you pitch well for 6 weeks down the stretch, you might even only have to pitch well for 5 starts down the stretch to get clubs to be eager to add. I mean, as hard as it is to find starting pitching. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be an interesting storyline to watch.
Always good, pal, when you take time to come on with us. We always appreciate you. Enjoy tonight's game, okay?
All right, sounds good.
There you go. Nick Picoro, everybody, as our guest. He is presented by the largest towing company in the state. That is All City Towing. And they're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Look, you get benefits that are absolutely sensational. You can set work schedules. You get a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Yes, that is all available to you at All City Towing. So take your career to the next level. Just go online and go to allcitytowing.com and search careers. That's allcitytowing.com and search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. We're hanging out today at Casino Arizona. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.